The Day in Tech History is sponsored by CashFly over at CACHEFLY.com, where you can host your podcast and get a 14-day free trial.
Jeffrey Powers here. I welcome you to the Day in Tech History, a full rundown of technology history 7 days a week. Subscribe to the show via iTunes, Stitcher, or download right from dayintechhistory.com. Now let's find out what happened on this day, your day in tech history. November 17th. 1947 is where we're going to start today. The first transistor, which is a solid-state amplifier made of germanium, plastic, and gold, is invented by Walter Brattain and John Bardeen in a series of experiments conducted between November 17th and December 23rd. In 1970, Douglas Engelbart receives a patent for the first computer mouse. It was entitled XY Position Indicator for a Display System, and it was a simple hollowed-out wooden block with a single push button on top. In 1977, IBM releases the IBM 3250 graphics display system. In 1978, the 2-hour Star Wars Holiday Special airs for the first and only time on the CBS network. I remember this one. It was where Chewbacca and Han Solo visit Kashyyyk, Chewbacca's homeworld, or should I say, Kashyyyk. Sorry. Basically, they were celebrating Life Day. It's kind of geeky, and I remember it. And if you've got a copy of it, please let me know, because I'd like to see it again. Probably on YouTube somewhere, though. In 1985, Craig Niedorf, who's otherwise known as Night Lightning, and Taran King released the first issue of Phrack magazine, which will, after 20 years, become the longest-running electronic publication in the hacker scene. In 1992, Veronica, an early search engine system for the Gopher protocol, is released by the University of Nevada. It's an ever-expanding database that includes the names of almost every menu item on thousands of Gopher services. It was officially an acronym for the Very Easy Rodent-Oriented Net-Wide Index to Computer Archives, and it was chosen to match that of the FTP service known as Archie. Archie and Veronica, of course, being characters in the Archie comics. That's probably how that all came out to be. So, anyway. 1994, Apple settles a lawsuit brought by Carl Sagan after engineers in Apple codenamed a computer for the famed astronomer. The codenamed remained internal. Sagan took offense and sued Apple for the defamation of character. So Carl Sagan does not like Apple. Meanwhile, in 1994, Sam Tramiel announces that the settlement terms that were made public in September with Sega have been concluded and that Atari has received a cash infusion of approximately $90 million. He jokingly warns Atari employees in a company memo that does not personally carry more than $20 on their person at one time. In 1998, SideQuest Technology, an early developer of removable hard disks, suspends its operations and files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. And Yahoo launches Yahoo Shopping. 1999, Slashdot reports there's a cool new tool out there called Napster that allows anyone to become publicly accessible FTP site, tapping into basically the huge resource of personal MP3 collections, but it has not been able to share. The RIAA should be scared out of their minds because users are not logged on permanently, so it's hard to track them down to take legal action.
If you love the Day in Tech History, then I encourage you to join my Patreon movement over at patreon.com/geekazine. Your contribution keeps the lights on and more Day in Tech History episodes available. Pledge as little as $1 a month or $12 a year for 365 days of podcasts. Add to that all the content from geekazine.com, morninggeeks.com, and other shows that I produce. That's over at patreon.com/geekazine. Now let's get back into your day in tech history.
Back in 2000, Britannica.com announces its intention to cut 17% of the employee staff
which was about 75 jobs. 2005, computer security experts warned that the software provided by Sony to uninstall its XCP tools created additional vulnerabilities. 2006, Sony released the Sony PlayStation 3 game console in North America. It featured a 3.2 GHz PowerPC, 256 MB XDR RAM, built-in Wi-Fi, and a 60 GB hard drive. They released 400,000 units of the PlayStation 3, and chaos erupted at several locations in the U.S. due to retailers' inability to meet the high demand for the system. 2008, Domino's and TiVo teamed up to sell pizzas over your DVR. AOL executives confirm a rumor that AOL video hosting services would be discontinued on December 18th of 2008. Intel released the USB 3.0 specification. Also in 2008, Major League Baseball and MLB.com dropped Silverlight for Flash on their website. Comcast launched the 50 megabits per second system to Oregon and Washington. Intel launched the Core i7 processor. The i7-965 was a 3.2 gigahertz processor for $999. The i7-940, which was 2.93 gigahertz, for $562, and the 920, which was a 2.66 gigahertz processor, for $284. And finally, in 2008, Jerry Yang announced to his staff that he would step down from his CEO role. Shares basically dropped from $34 to $9 during the whole micro Yahoo events of the last couple of years, and Jerry Yang went under the microscope and had a lot of flack for not leading the company in the right way. 2009, Yahoo announced that it would be discontinuing their mobile application called Go, and Google launched Image Swirl. And in 2010, Ronald Sugar joins Apple's board of directors. He replaced Eric Schmidt, who resigned from the board in 2009. And that's your Day in Tech History for November 17th. My name is Jeffrey Powers. www.dayintechhistory.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at DayInTechHist, or you can get all the show notes up on the wiki page. Thanks a lot for listening. We'll see you in 24 hours. Take care. And that's your Day in Tech History. My name is Jeffrey Powers, www.dayintechhistory.com. All the show notes are over at wikizine.com, Geekazine's wiki. And of course, you can like the Facebook page and follow Twitter at Day in Tech Hist. Until tomorrow, take care. Day in Tech History is copyright 2015, JMP Enterprise and Geekazine.com.